So I was talking to my friend earlier, and we were talking about how sometimes we're afraid to feel our emotions. And so we look at them objectively instead of actually feeling them. And we were talking about how both her and I have been in some very dark places in our life. Like, I had a anxiety disorder. I was severely depressed. I had an eating disorder. And so sometimes when things come up, I'm angry or sad, sadness is a big one. When I'm sad, sometimes I think, oh, I don't want to feel that emotion because I don't want to go back to that place. And so I'll look at it objectively and say, oh, well, why am I sad? And start to try and pick apart at it to figure out what's going on, from the self-awareness part. But we are energy bodies, and our emotions need to flow through us. Otherwise, they crystalline, they harden. And if you have come from a space where you've been in those dark places and you've healed yourself and gotten yourself to not being in that space, sometimes we suppress those things and we look at them objectively instead of feeling them. And that is not helping either because it's going to come out sometime. And usually it compacts and compacts and compacts and compacts until we have a big emotional break. And that's because we haven't allowed them to flow through. And so when we were talking, I said, when I feel sadness now, what I do is I say, I see you, sadness. I see you, and you're seen and you're heard and you're validated. And we're going to sit here with this emotion. We're going to let it run through us. And that's okay, because I trust myself and I'm not that person anymore. I'm not coming from those spaces. I don't live in that frequency anymore. It's okay to have isolated sad days. That's okay. We're human. So it's the perspective of, instead of saying oh, I feel bad for feeling this, it's, oh, this is normal because I'm a human being, and human beings are allowed to experience emotions. So if you sit with those, it lets you flow through and release. And so I say this in case this helps anyone else that's on that spiritual journey and thinking oh, I don't want to go back to those spaces. You got to trust yourself that you got yourself out and that you're not going to go back to that space. You're in a new frequency. You're in a new consciousness. It's okay to feel the things so you can release them.